GHOne TV, your best experience.
Hello there, good morning. This is GHOne Newsroom. My name is Sewa Amiye. Let's begin with our top stories. In this edition, we'll tell you why peace appears to be eluding in Ghana's mosques as GHOne News' investigations reveal pathetic state of the country's public mortuaries. When it is overlooked, it gets worse, and when it kills, it requires immediate action. That is the exact concern of the minority as it addresses the media on the alarming state of the country's security. We'll be live in Parliament to bring you details. So in this edition, we'll take you live to the Black Star Square as the facility receives final touches ahead of Ghana's 61st Independence Day celebrations on Tuesday. And later on the international front, Islamist militant group Al-Shabaab kills 5 police officers in northeast Kenya. We have details of these stories and more, including business. Do stay with us. Welcome to the program. Now, the Technical University Teachers Association of Ghana, TUTAG, has today begun a nationwide strike to protest the amendment of certain sections of the 2016 Act that establishes technical universities. The amendment bill, which is currently before Parliament, seeks to grant powers to the National Council for the Tertiary Education to perform functions which TUTAG argues falls within the purview of the governing councils, the academic boards and the principal officers of universities in Ghana.
The Technical University Teachers Association is in court to challenge the Education Minister over attempts to amend portions of the Technical Universities Act 922. The association argues that amending Section 23, 24 and 27 of the Act will not only cede the administrative functions of the technical universities to the National Council of Tertiary Education, which by law is only supposed to act as an advisory body, but will also make both teaching and non-teaching staff temporary workers.
If the bill is passed in its current form, the technical universities cannot establish a department or faculty or hostels without the approval of the National Council for Tertiary Education. And this is clearly contradictory if one looks at Section 6 of the Principal Enactment, Act 922, which confers the power to undertake such assignments to the governing councils of the technical universities.
President of Takrady TUTAG, Peter Awenisedu, says the move to strike has been necessitated by the uncompromising stance of the Education Minister, Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, on the subject. According to him, both teaching and non-teaching staff are demoralized by the minister's actions, hence the need to embark on a sit-down strike.
The frustration and anger of the employees have reached a point where they are no longer willing, or they don't feel happy enough to perform their normal duties and are therefore willing to embark upon a sit-down strike. The Minister of Education doesn't appear to be willing to agree to any dialogue. His recent comments on radio and television suggest so.
Let's go live to the Accra Technical University, from where my colleague Della Michelle joins us for some updates. Hello Della, good morning. Has the strike begun yet?
Good morning, Sawa. Here at the Accra Technical University, I'll say that most of the lecturers are in their classroom going about their normal activities. The compound is actually full with most of the students here, indicating that the strike action has not begun yet at the Accra Technical University. I happened to speak to the local chairman, Mr. Jones Ntiamwa, earlier on, and he actually assured that here at the Accra Technical University, they are waiting for an official letter from TUTAG national officers before they will embark on any strike. But Sewa, before you come into the school, there's a banner outside indicating that there is a strike action that is going to take place. So they are preparing the minds of students to know that soon TUTAG will embark on a strike action. But as to today, most of the lecturers are in the classroom. Students are full, students are going about their normal activities on campus. And I have some students here with me actually that I want to engage. Should ATU, that is Accra Technical University, officially embark on the strike, how is it going to affect some of the students here? So Priscilla, we have been speaking, you're live on GHOne TV. We want to find out from you, right before you enter the school, there's this banner that shows that watch out, TUTAG, ATU, TUTAG on strike, means they're preparing your mind. As a student, how is this strike action going to affect you? Should it come on?
Okay, it's going to be a very difficult semester for us, because if they go on strike, it gives us more pressure on our books. We have to actually either learn on our own or wait for them to come before we learn, giving us more pressure in the semester. Thank you.
Eric, you are saying that on the 12th of March, you have mid-sem. Already, some other local chapters across the country, teachers have embarked on their strike action. ATU is yet to join. If the strike should come on, as a student, how is it going to affect you academically?
Yeah, I think it will worry us and our students, because as a student leader, I'm the president for School of Business and Management Studies, ATU chapter. And we also have our programs that we need to embark on in order to help the students as in extracurricular activities. So if they are embarking on this strike, I think it will be a good something for us, because we also have our programs, as I was saying initially, and we have barely about 2 weeks to start our midterm. So, and I think a month and 2 weeks to start our exam. So if it happens like they are going on strike, then it means they have to extend the academic calendar as well, because we are student leaders. We will not sit down and watch them go on strike. Then they will waste like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. Even we have holidays coming up. Then it means they also have to look at the academic calendar. So we are saying to our TUTAG personnel or chairman that they should renegotiate with the government. If possible, they should wait after the semester. They can negotiate with the government or parliament to solve this issue whilst we are on doing our attachment and national service. So I think that's what they have to do, but other than going on strike. So
let me engage one more student. Talking about members of parliament as well as NCTE and TUTAG solving the situation that they have right now. First semester, you also experienced a strike action. How was it like for you? And now reading again, the second semester, another strike action. What was your first reaction when you saw the notice?
Thank you very much. I was quite shocked and surprised when I saw the notice, because it just came so sudden, and we least expected this at this time of the academic year. Last semester they embarked on a 1 week strike, and what happened was they didn't really make up time for that 1 week that was lost. So we had to even write exams at the weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. We were writing examinations, and what happens is the mid-semester, and then let me say the assignments and quizzes that would be given also becomes so cumbersome that we sometimes find it very difficult to adjust ourselves to. So we believe this strike is not going to do us any good. So in as much as TUTAG, they are also fighting for their, let me say, for the betterment of the association. But we also believe there is another way of resolving this issue. We are begging them that they should go back to the drawing board. They should meet the government officials and talk this over, so that at the end of the day, we, the students, can have a peaceful semester and everything will move on smooth for us.
So, these are some of the students and their concerns concerning the two-tag strike that has been declared nationwide. I would say once again that ATU, according to the local chairman, that is Mr. Jones in Tiamwa, they are yet to embark on this strike. They are waiting for an official letter from nationals of two-tag. But until then, everything is normal here at the Accra Technical University. Students are coming in their numbers and lectures is ongoing, Sewa.
Thank you very much. Dela Michelle was at the Accra Technical University. Now, the educational institutions and security personnel in the Greater Accra region are intensifying preparations towards Ghana's 61st Independence Day commemoration on March 6, 2018. The President of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari, will be the special guest of honor at Ghana's 61st Independence Day anniversary on March 6, 2018. President Buhari is expected to join President Akufo-Addo on Tuesday to review a national parade of school children, voluntary organizations and security services at the Black Star Square to commemorate the anniversary. Ahead of that national ceremony, my colleague William Evans Inkum has pitched camp at the Independence Square to assess preparations for this year's program and joins us live. Hello, Evans. Good morning. It's 3 days to the big event. How are things looking there?
Well, hello, Sawa. Thanks so much for having me. So as you rightly mentioned, it's been just 3 days to the big event. And I must say that it's been days of intensive rehearsals here at the Black Star Square, or if you like, the Independence Square. I am counting about 10 contingents drawn from the country's security sector. Not long ago, I also saw some contingent from the Ghana Education Service. I must say that the simulation here has been very colorful, and considering the weather condition, we are swinging between 28 and 30 degrees Celsius. You say it is an ideal time for these kind of drills to actually happen, looking at weather pattern and the fact that sometimes these events, if things are not put right, you hear of casualties, people fainting and all that. So if you are asking me about simulation and how they are conducting themselves or preparing themselves ahead of the 6th March celebration, which falls, of course, on Tuesday, I must say that everything is being put right. So not only the contingent that I'm saying, one thing that I've also seen, which is also eye-catching, is the fact that I mean, if you look at the band contingents, it's just a hybrid. You're talking about some men from the police, military, and custom who are making up the band contingents. Just behind the parade, you also see a fleet of armored vehicles. I mean, arranged in a manner that one is likely to conclude that they are ready to defend the sovereignty of this country. So, Sawa, it is a colorful ceremony or simulation as far as the independence happens at the Independence Square is concerned. But I must also add this. I heard one of the commanders annexing something into their morale calling. Anytime he shouts Ghana, then you hear the contingents also responding beyond aid. So come what may, we are going to see these contingents march and also march Ghana out of any foreign dependency. Sawa.
All right, thank you very much, William Evans Inkum. Don't forget that EIB will bring you a comprehensive coverage of this Ghana 61st Independence Day celebration across all our platforms right here, especially on GHOne TV. Let's do some other stories. The Inspector General of Police has made changes in the command structure of the Ghana Police Service, with COP Dr. George Ekufu Dampari, the Director General Operations, replacing former Ashanti Regional Police Commander COP Nathan Kofi Boache as Director General Research and Planning. The reshuffle, which comes in the wake of increased insecurity in the country, also sees COP Christian Tete Yohonu, the Director General Special Duties, taking up the role of Director General Police Intelligence. Others have also been reassigned to take up various positions across the country. Whilst the reasons for the latest reshuffle are unknown, it comes at a time when the police service has come under severe criticism following an increase in robbery cases across the country. Meanwhile, security analysts seem divided over the impact of the shake-up in the police hierarchy on Thursday as the country battles a surge of robberies and other crimes. We'll engage another expert shortly, but first, security expert Emmanuel Sowate has criticized the police on its knee-jerk response to the spate of armed robbery cases in the country. Sowate says a shake-up will not necessarily translate to results on the ground.
Interventions are counterproductive in the long run. And let me explain in simple terms. When you want to deal with a problem, you want to make sure that the right people are in the right places. But then that comes at different levels. So who are the station officers? Who are the district commanders? Who are the divisional commanders? Who are the regional commanders? How do they get to those positions? Are they adequately prepared for those positions? Yes, some are without a doubt. But I think some can also be supported. Sometimes too, you might have not a coterie of leaders, but you might have a group of police personnel. They might have different capabilities. Okay, and so it is up to the institution with time to start thinking appropriately about how, for example, when you have people passing out, who are the best for signals, who are the best for operations, who are the best for intelligence, who are the best for analysis. Because if you put a round peg in square hole, sometimes you have problems. In this particular case, I think that the assurance will come from more police personnel on the street.
We're trying to get Franklin Kojo to speak with on the back of this issue. But let me remind you again of some of the changes that have been made. COP Dr. George Ekufu Dampari, the Director General of Operations, is replacing former Ashanti Regional Police Commander COP Nathan Kofi Boache as the Director General Research and Planning. The reshuffle comes in the wake of increased insecurity in the country. And it also sees COP Christian Teteyonu, the Director General Special Duties, taking up the role of Director General Police Intelligence. Others have also been reassigned to take up various positions across the country. Well, Imani Africa has kicked against the IGP's shake-up, arguing that improved welfare for the police is what is needed to help fight crime in the country. Franklin Kojo is the president of Imani Africa and joins us. Hello, Franklin. Good morning, and thank you for joining us. Do you think reshuffle is a response to the growing challenges confronting the police?
Well, good morning. Let me correct the question with this statement. We haven't taken the something. I mean, we wouldn't have any business for that. We've always asked, because there's no business, they only ask questions. These are that play. We certainly said that this issue surrounding security actually go beyond this shuffling of few heads. The fact of the matter is that the police is under severe restrictive constraints, resource-wise. And I think we have cause to talk to them. And
Franklin, we are having difficulty hearing you. Can you reposition yourself?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, better.
Is this better?
Yes, this is very okay.
What I was saying initially was that we don't have any parents with any shuffle. What we have to say though, that appears we've been using the voice for the teeth. And the reason is simple. The police is severely malnourished when it comes to resources. And to the extent that what they require is what is needed in terms of resources, we think that these little steps are not really the major issue they should be dealing with. And we certainly believe that the police service has to be properly resourced. And we made a point that even though the government has promised 800 million service, as we're tapping into the advocacy for money left, we think that if we do not take care, we may be using this for things that may not be essential right now, like purchasing helicopters. The police service is close to the 52,000 personnel for the country. As we speak, we are putting 8,000 of them, and we will probably get an additional 4,000.
We're having difficulty. We're having a lot of difficulty in hearing you. And I still want to pick your thoughts on this before you go. What about those who are calling for the firing of the IGP? What is your take on that? But you have to reposition yourself again to answer this.
Well, I do not yield to the idea that the IGP should be sacked. The fact of the matter is that whoever you put there will still face the very resource constraints that we talked about. So it's better to deal with the resource constraints rather than the person who occupies the position. I mean, I think the IGP has had countless occasions to highlight the challenges the police service face. And we are only echoing those challenges as well. So I'm not too sure that the answer lies in sacking the IGP or indeed, as has been said right now, shuffling a few heads around. I mean, what's the point if you shuffle people if they don't have the requisite resources to work with? If they still have Second World War armory and under 6,000 of the particular 42,000 personnel are in what is probably called decent accommodation, which, by the way, is not totally in keeping with modern kinds of accommodation. How could they protect us? That's a question we need to ask ourselves. I mean, those are the issues. So somehow the police service itself has lent itself to this criticism that the IGP should go. I don't subscribe to it, and I certainly do not think that by shuffling a few heads around, automatically would have been dealing with the tighter problems of insecurity.
Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Franklin Cudjoe is the president and CEO of Imani Africa. We apologize for the sound challenges that we had. We'll try to reach him again and bring you that conversation, pick his thoughts on all of these developments that have happened. Let's do some other stories. The Ghana Health Service has confirmed the death of a 26-year-old man said to have been infected with Lassa fever. This is the very first case recorded in the country since the outbreak of the disease in neighboring Nigeria and some other West African countries. The service is, however, cautioning the public to adhere to actions towards prevention and protection against further spread as it enhances surveillance at various points of entry in the country.
Ghana confirmed its first case of Lassa fever at the Tema metropolis in the Greater Accra region. The infected person, a 26-year-old man, according to the statement issued by the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Health Service, was rushed to the Tema General Hospital with general body weakness, severe headache and joint pains, profuse vomiting of blood with clots. The patient is said to have come to Tema from the Kintampo North District about a few weeks ago. His blood sample, which was later taken to the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research, was investigated and confirmed Lassa fever. The patient, who died in the early hours of Wednesday, 28 February 2018, was managed in the facility's isolation unit and later moved to the Infectious Disease Center at the Tema General Hospital. A visit to the hospital early Thursday morning showed a calm atmosphere and management in a crunch meeting. Most people interacted with also appeared ignorant.
Information to the public is well controlled as far as this particular hospital is concerned. Even among the hospital staff, you go to them and they will not open up. The only thing that I have been told is that a unit has been set to quarantine the hospital staff, and apart from that, here at the administration block, they're also having a crunch meeting on the matter. The
Ghana Health Service has initiated a contact tracing and follow-up process to prevent an outbreak since the patient traveled to the Eastern, Volta and Bono Ahafo regions. Lassa fever is an acute viral infectious disease which is endemic in West Africa. Early symptoms of the disease include fever, general weakness and malaise. After a few days, headache, sore throat, muscle pain, chest pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, cough and abdominal pain may follow. It is transmitted to humans through contact with the urine, saliva, feces and blood of rodents. Ghana had earlier in 2011 confirmed few cases of Lassa fever in Ashanti and Eastern regions.
Now, the Ghana Health Service has been reacting to this. They spoke with my colleague, William Evans Inkum. Let's take a listen.
What has become of the health workers at Tema General Hospital when they were actually handling this particular patient? What is the current development on there?
Current development, the region have met them. Tomorrow I also will go there and meet them. What we are doing, we have come up with protocols, and then we are following them for the next few weeks, because the incubation period is between 2 to 21 days. So we follow them after 3 weeks. If they don't have any fever, no signs and symptoms, then they are free. As I said, it's not coming in contact makes you have the disease.
Okay.
You can even have the Lassa fever in your system, but you won't exhibit any signs and symptoms, and you build antibodies. So we are giving them psychological support, and we have also informed them that we have the antiviral ready in case we have anybody whose temperature goes, and we test it twice and it goes above 37.5. Quickly we take them to blood samples and start.
You have a number of district hospital health posts and what have you. This particular case even came all the way from the Bono Ahamfo region. Have you resourced your health posts, your district hospitals, to ensure that at least at that stage be able to curtail any escalation?
Yes, the first important thing is alert. So that, you see, the most important thing is to catch the disease and catch it from the early stages. When you catch it from the early stages, then you can manage it and they get well. That's the most important. You don't wait for it to become a chronic issue and then they get all the disabilities and then even die from it. Another important thing is to get the equipment to protect the health workers who are treating them. The next thing is also to get the necessary medications. And then above all, the most important thing is prevention. So all our districts, all our regional hospitals, everybody is.
Let's go back to security. The minority in Parliament has jumped to the defense of the Inspector General of Police over recent crime wave. Increasing robbery cases have given the rise to calls for the head of the IGP, David Asante Apietu. However, addressing a press conference in Parliament earlier, Minority spokesperson on Defense and Interior, James Agalga, said the government is to blame for the situation. The former Deputy Interior Minister explains the Vice President, who heads the Police Council, should rather ensure enough measures are rolled out to guarantee safety of Ghanaians. The minority in Parliament has held a press conference on the state of insecurity in the country. Our correspondent Ibrahim Al-Hassan joins us live with details. Hello, Ibrahim. Thank you for joining us. Give us a breakdown on what the minority has been saying.
Well, to start with, the minority chronicled what they term as the insecurity instances in the country, from Wa, Tamale to the Ashanti region, to Ho in the Volta region, and here in Accra. They also cited instances where thugs, and for that matter, vigilante to the governing NPP, have unleashed mayhem on installations, citizens and public officers. In all, what they're saying is that because the president and his vice have failed to take action once when these instances happened, and in the instance where an action was taken, they ensured from the word go, I'm talking about the Delta forces storming court in Kumasi, that they ensured that they were treated with case glove. According to them, this is what has emboldened the other citizens to be taking arms and embarking on a robbery spree. They also talk about the fact that calls for the head of IGP Asante Apietu is premature, and the explanation is that he doesn't work alone. In fact, he reports to a council, and that's the police council, and this council is chaired by the vice president, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia. So if there is anybody who is to take the blame, it should rather be the chairman for the council and not the IGP who reports to the council. That's not the only thing the minority talks about. It says that if the president wants to be taken serious and wants to assure Ghanaians that he will ensure security for everybody in the country, then he should right away disband all vigilante groups affiliated to the NPP. 1. 2, they also took him on, the president, for leaving the country in the wake of these insecurity situations, in their word, that the president has gone globe-trotting when his house is on fire. Yes, so in essence, these are the issues the minority members of parliament are raising. They want the president to take action, and they want the action now. Sure.
But in all of this, did the minority in any way say what their contribution to this is?
Well, they are saying that constantly they will be putting the government on its toes. They will be holding the feet of the government to the accountability of fire to ensure that first they equip the security services and then they deploy the needed measures to ensure that every Ghanaian is saved. As we speak, Sewa, there is another development in Parliament, and that is breaking, that members of Parliament as of today have not been paid and they are not enthused about it. I've spoken to a number of them who tell me how challenging has been for them, given the fact that they are heading to their constituencies to observe the 6th March commemoration. So they are calling on government to, as a matter of urgency, release their salaries. They're not just talking about this month. They mentioned that it's been a trend, and that even last month, January, their salaries delayed up to 10th of the month before their monies were released. And this is not just the minority members of Parliament of both sides. So they are sending an SOS message, if you like, to government that their salaries must be released. So,
all right, Ibrahim, those are some interesting things there. But aside all of this, what else is happening in Parliament today?
Well, the controversial legal professions regulation 2008, which was laid yesterday, is expected to be debated today, but the signals I've picked is that this is likely to be stood down, to be taken next week, given the fact that, like I said, most members of Parliament are heading to their constituencies to observe the 6th March parade. So yes, that is the news from Parliament. As we speak, the business statement for the next week, and that is a program of activities for the ensuing week, is being laid bare on the floor. Members have been taking the opportunity to dig into the business statement for the day. After that, we will attend the real business for today. So,
thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Ibrahim Al-Hassan is our parliamentary correspondent. Let's go for a break. When we come back, we continue with the rest of our stories.
Ghana International Trade Fair is back again. From the 28th February to the 7th of March 2018, the Ghana Trade Fair Company will be hosting over 500 exhibitors from all over the world for the 22nd International Trade Fair at the Ghana Trade Fair Center, La Accra. Come and have quality entertainment while you network to develop your business. Activities lined up for the 22nd International Trade Fair: Wednesday 28th February, opening ceremony; Thursday 1st March, regional day celebration; Friday 2nd March, high life night; Saturday the 3rd of March, country day celebration; Sunday 4th March, food fair and CEO's cooking competition; Monday the 5th of March, Cocoa Day and Into Madan. Then on the 6th of March, the biggest outdoor concert. Come and enjoy your favorite local Ghanaian dishes at the food fair while you listen to evergreen high life music at the beer festival on weekends and holidays. The Kids Corner will give our children a treat with their favorite cotton candy, ice cream, bouncy castle, swimming pool, face painting and many more. Be part of the 22nd International Trade Fair. Join us from the 28th to the 7th of March at the Ghana Trade Fair Center as we trade and network in style and entertainment under the theme Industrializing Ghana and Creating Jobs. The program is brought to you by the Ghana Trade Fair Company in partnership with the Ministry of Trade, One District, One Factory and EIB Network.
The kind of authority that you have, the Bible says that he has made you a priest, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people. What it means is that when your daughter is sick, you don't have to call the pastor. Oh, I call my pastor is not answering, and because of that I am depressed. No, when you lay your hands on the sick shall. We have so many depressed Christians. Why? Because when they are going through hard times and they call their pastor and their pastor is not picking, then oh, my pastor doesn't like. Your pastor doesn't have to like you. Your pastor doesn't even have to have any word with you. All that you need to have is have a relationship with God and establish your contact with God and be in your place, your high place. Stand as an heir of Christ.
Hello, my name is Dr. Michael Bodin. I'm the head pastor of the Maker's House Chapel International. I'm coming your way on GHOne TV with Destiny Word. I believe that everybody's life and destiny needs augmentation. And that's why you have to make a date with me. God bless you, even as you stay tuned.
Destiny Word. GHOne TV, your best experience.
Welcome back. This is GHOne Newsroom. My name is Sewa. I'm here. Now, the management of public morgues has come into sharp focus following the death of Ghanaian music sensation Priscilla Opoku-Kwarteng, best known as Ebony Rains. Pictures of her body and the two laying bare on the cold floor of the Mankraso Government Hospital morgue surfaced all over social media. This has raised several concerns about how dead bodies sent to public morgues are left unprotected, hurting the sensibilities of relatives. GHOne TV's Kumasi team draws parallels between public and private morgues. Ivan Headcourt Fumada filed this report.
Morgues in public health facilities have come under fire over the past few weeks following the death of Ghanaian music sensation Ebony. Her body, together with two others who died with her in a car accident, were laid on the bare floor, open to the public and uncovered from camera lenses. Before noon on that fateful day, the pictures were all over social media, raising questions about the management of morgues and how inhumanely and insensitively bereaved families are treated. GHOne has been visiting morgues of public hospitals, and the pictures have been gory. This is the Sunyai Municipal Hospital in Bono Ahafo, the home region of Ebony. You are met right from the entrance by an unpleasant stench. Bodies lay on stretchers, ready to be prepared for freezing. The area is full of houseflies, raising fears of infections being carried from these dead bodies into the nearby communities. The floor is splashed with dirty water dripping from the washed bodies. A staff of the morgue tells GHOne News they are sometimes compelled to leave bodies lying outside the fridges for a long time because the fridges are small and just a few. He says the situation gets worse when they have to keep bodies untouched till the police takes evidence, and this process bloats some of the bodies.
No man of people now taking bodies now taking and take it out. Now so a cold room there to me take any bodies. Now has on there will be over one bamano or the two from for sometimes the problem ba nipa no to me hono. And show body no more as say body. Now so a cold room obam no one bamano or the two inside the door. As me
This bizarre scene, unfortunately, plays out in several other public morgues, especially in underdeveloped regions, with the Bolgatanga Government Hospital morgue reported to be one of the worst morgues in the country. It, however, appears some private morgues are on a mission to get things right. Dr. Gabriel Setcher-Kofi is on a mission to revolutionize how morgues are managed in Ghana. Unlike what we witness at the municipal hospital, his two morgues have nothing ominous about it. You are rather met by a receptionist whose duty is to console relatives and register each body that comes to the morgue.
Because they've lost a relative, most of the times they are down spirits, like they feel down. So I welcome them. Try to calm them down. Then I ask them their reason for coming.
We'll bring you the full reports later tonight at 6:30 on News Tonight. In spite of the incessant advocacy to place a ban on the sale of alcohol at public transport stations, the practice seems to be on the increase, with more drinking spots gaining grounds at transport terminals. The appalling development is said to be encouraging the intake of alcohol among drivers during working hours. In an interview with GHOne News, the Public Relations Officer of the National Road Safety Commission, Kwame Kodua-Ituahine, says the GPRTU and the AMA need to be synergized to inject some sanity at various lorry stations.
there are rules that disallow taking alcohol and driving. These terminals are meant for a range of persons who get to the terminals. And it is incumbent on the various actors, as it were, the operators, to by internal control systems make it unattractive for their drivers to patronize these outlets. It will be difficult to say you want to ban alcohol sale at these terminals, because at the end of the day, they are not areas restricted for driver use and use of drivers alone.
This is also a special report we'll bring you later on at on News Tonight. Now, she was only 2 years old when she was diagnosed with sickle cell. At age 10, Akosia Dankwa had already suffered her first stroke. GHOne News' Nadima Umar Uthman reports that although sickle cell affects 15,000 persons in Ghana annually, treatment cost is extremely high.
"44-year-old Akosia Dankwa was born with a sickle cell disease, having inherited the SS gene from her medical doctor mother and father, who is a pastor, both with the AS gene. In sickle cell disease, the normal round shape of red blood cells become deformed, turning sickle-shaped. Although stroke is usually attributed to the aged in our part of the world, Akosia suffered hers at just 10 years old and subsequently at age 13.
The first crisis I remember, I think I was about 11. And the pain is very, very bad. If it comes in your knees, you can't walk. And it's like an impossible situation.
Akosia, who once contemplated ending her life due to the crippling pain, tells me her condition rendered her timid and reserved as she missed out on all fun activities as a child. Akosia's mother, Virginia, is a medical doctor and explains although she and her husband knew they were carriers of the sickle cell gene before marriage, they decided to take a leap of faith by relying on prayer.
We discussed it with some trusted friends, Christian friends, but the long and short of it is that the thing depended upon ourselves. The final decision is ourselves. So we, but then they said they will help us to pray. So we took a period of time when we were all going to pray about it. And I must say that within that time, we did not get the impression that God was impressing it upon us to stop the relationship.
We'll also bring you that full report on News Tonight. Let's go to the Ashanti region. The regional medical store risks collapse over the NHIS's inability to honor debts owed to the facility. Management of the Ashanti Regional Health Directorate is appealing to government to facilitate immediate release of funds to settle these debts.
Health officials in the Ashanti region say the operations of the regional medical stores could soon grind to a halt if government fails to take immediate steps to address the facility's high indebtedness. According to officials, some medical drug suppliers have been reluctant to honor requests made by service providers for certain essential supplies for service delivery. According to the Ashanti Regional Director of Pharmacy, Dr. Alhaji Kofi Barrier, failure to pay service providers would be the medical store's undoing. Dr. Kofi Barrier told GHOne News they are not getting constant supply of drugs from their private suppliers on credit anymore due to its almost 24 million cedi indebtedness.
There's no shortage. You can't get 100% stock throughout the year. You can't get it. This performance was on 2017, so we're accounting for what we did 2017 as at December 2017. And as at that time, tracer drug availability was 66%. When we want to talk about the indebtedness, We, the medical stores, don't deal directly with the patients. It's the hospitals that pick the products from us. So it's the hospitals that are owing us. And some are, you asked about the quantum of money. Currently, for drugs, it's about 18 million Ghana cedis. For non-drug consumables, it's about 5.5 million Ghana cedis.
The problem of the Ghana Health Service in Ashanti region extends to lack of logistics as well. Checks from the Ashanti Regional Health Directorate indicates that out of 30 districts in the region, only about 10 have vehicles to carry out its activities effectively. The health specialist says the situation affects effective control of disease outbreaks at the various districts. Dr. Akwesie Wuji-Yeboah, Deputy Director of the Ashanti Regional Health Directorate, is therefore calling on government to ensure more vehicles are released to the facility to promote effective health care in the region.
For the outreach, the community health nurses and the disease control officers, some of them can even take passenger cars, and it is difficult, but they manage like that. Where the issue is really is monitoring and supervision. I mean, the district director doesn't go and visit the districts, the sub-districts, because he doesn't have vehicle. Supportive supervision is not adequate. Things do not go very well.
Now, the Accra Metropolitan Assembly will undertake a massive cleanup exercise in all 10 sub-metros in the Accra metropolis. The exercise, which forms part of the National Sanitation Day campaign, is expected to rid the capital of filth. A statement signed by the AMA Metro Coordinating Director, Sam Ayedate, called on shops, markets and other commercial activities to halt and remain closed between 6 and 10 a.m. The statement also called on Ghanaians to come out with their cleansing tools to clean their respective communities, places of work, homes and surroundings. Meanwhile, public health officers, Saman will be visiting households and other socio-economic entities to inspect their sanitation condition and issue notices if necessary during the period. Let's go for a break. When we come back, we have business and international. And also to remind you that our weekend news begins tomorrow, March 3rd.
Reports go beyond barriers.
The government forces were firing from that torched building, and then the rebels were also returning fire from this place.
The frustration that shows on the faces of many commuters is an indication of their anticipation.
Introducing our weekend edition of the news. If you could not catch us in the course of the week, catch us on the weekend. It's crisp, authoritative and original. Trust our reporters to bring you up-to-the-minute information, whether it's breaking or developing. Our reporters will fish it out.
So we're just going to stand here and watch how this car burns to ashes without...
Our cameras never miss any action. Weekend edition starts March 3, 2018. GHOne News. News you can trust.
Never wanted to do it alone. Raise a child on her own, one-sided, without assistance. Yet, she holds her children close with care. She is a single mother who knows no defeat. In this month, as we celebrate women on the Late Afternoon Show, we bring you closer to stories of single yet successful women. Join media personalities Jifa Gray, Natalia and Miss Nancy as they recount their stories of being single mothers. The care, the pain, the difficulties, yet the joy of loving with no bounds. The Late Afternoon Show on GHOne TV today at 4 p.m. Don't miss.
GHOne TV, your best experience.
The kind of authority that you have. The Bible says that he has made you a priest, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people. What it means is that when your daughter is sick, you don't have to call the pastor. Oh, I call my pastor is not answering, and because of that I am depressed. No, when you lay your hands on the sick shall. We have so many depressed Christians. Why? Because when they are going through hard times and they call their pastor and their pastor is not picking, then my pastor doesn't like. Your pastor doesn't have to like you. Your pastor doesn't even have to have any word with you. All that you know you need to have is have a relationship with God and establish your contact with God and be in your place, your high place. Stand as the heir of Christ.
Hello, my name is Dr. Michael Bodin. I'm the head pastor of the Makers House Chapel International. I'm coming your way on GHOne TV with Destiny Word. I believe that everybody's life and destiny needs augmentation, and that's why you have to make a date with me. God bless you, even as you stay tuned.
Destiny Word. GHOne TV, your best experience.
Our special reports go beyond barriers.
The government forces were firing from that torched building, and then the rebels were also returning fire from this place.
The frustration that shows on the faces of many commuters is an indication of their anticipation.
Introducing our weekend edition of the news. If you could not catch us in the course of the week, catch us on the weekend. It's crisp, authoritative, and original. No. Trust our reporters to bring you up-to-the-minute information, whether it's breaking or developing. Our reporters will fish it out.
So we're just going to stand here and watch how this car burns to ashes without...
Our cameras never miss any action. Weekend edition starts March 3, 2018. GHOne News. News you can trust.
Welcome back from the break. My name is Sewami here, and this is GHOne Newsroom. Let's do some business now. Chief Executive Officer of the National Pensions Regulatory Authority, Hayford Atakufi, is calling for prosecutorial powers to ensure offenders of the pension laws are made to face the full rigors of the law. He has been explaining the details to Kweku Teming, who joins us now.
All right, so thank you very much for passing on the mantle to us. Well, this afternoon we're looking at pensions, and of course, the National Pensions and Regulatory Authority is seeking to do more advocacy on how to get pension education to the public. Well, this afternoon we have no other than the CEO himself, Hayford Atakufi, joining us to interact with us on some of the critical issues coming up within the pension sector. Sir, we're grateful that you are joining us on GHOne TV.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right, let me go straight to the point. Now, because of some recalcitrant attitudes in the industry, you're calling for some prosecutorial powers. Now, why do you think that this is critical, especially around this time?
Thank you very much. The National Pensions Act has been in operation for some time. The Act was passed in 2008, and by 2010 it was activated. And indeed, every employer was supposed to register a scheme for their employees. Quite a number of them have complied, but there is still a good number of employers who haven't set up a scheme or haven't joined a master trust scheme, which means that at the end of the working life of their employees, they would be without pension and it would become a social justice issue for the government. The Act makes provision for the fact that those who avoid paying pension should be prosecuted. And it categorizes that into Tier 1, which is the Social Security Pension that is run by SNIT, and Tier 2, which is privately managed. The Tier 1 has got clear procedural powers handed over to the Social Security and National Insurance Trust. Now, because the Tier 2 is privately managed, there is no clear-cut powers given to those who avoid paying it, even though it is mandatory. And that is why we're asking that the law should empower NPRA as a regulator to have that kind of power to be able to prosecute those who avoid paying attention.
Hey, for that, Kofi, many thanks for joining us this afternoon on Newsroom, looking critically at how pensions can be enhanced in the country. So I'll quickly pass it back to you in the studio, expecting that what other issues crop up, we would critically have discussions on it. Back to you.
Definitely, Kweku Timing. Thank you very much. Kweku Timing is with our business desk. That's it for business, but up next is international.
The main trading partners of the U.S. have reacted angrily after President Donald Trump announced plans to impose tariffs on steel and aluminum imports. Canada and the EU said they will bring forward their own countermeasures to the steep new tariffs. Mexico, China and Brazil have also said they are weighing up defense steps. Mr. Trump tweeted that the U.S. have been disseminated by unfair trade and bad policy. He said steel import will face a 25% tariff and aluminum 10%. However, critics argue that the tariffs will fail to protect American jobs and would ultimately put up prices for consumers. Somalia's Al-Shabaab group have killed 5 police officers early on Friday in northeast Kenya, in an area where the Islamic militant have in the past attacked military and civilian targets, a senior official said. 4 police officers and a reservist have died in the attack. The attackers had destroyed a mobile phone transmission mast to disrupt communications. Al-Shabaab are fighting to topple Somalia's Western-backed central government and establish their own rule based on their strict interpretation of Islamic law. The group also conduct frequent assaults in Kenya, mostly in the region bordering Somalia, to put pressure on the Kenyan government to withdraw its troops from Somalia. Kenya is part of the African Union peacekeeping force, which is defending Somalia's government against Al-Shabaab. Contributing countries include Uganda, Burundi, Djibouti and Ethiopia are currently meeting in Kampala to assess the peacekeeping operations in Somalia. Witnesses have reported seeing armed men getting out of a car and opening fire, according to AFP news agency. Pictures from the scene showed a cloud of black smoke rising into the sky. It is not yet clear who is behind the apparent attack. An attack is underway, the French ambassador tweeted. The U.S. embassy in the city has advised people to seek shelter.
Up next is sports. And in the world of sports, Sports Minister Isaac Esiama has officially given the green light for the renovation works to begin at the Azuma Nelson Sports Complex in Kaneshie. The total renovation cost is about 18 million Ghana cedis, which is about $4 million, and is expected to be completed in 16 months.
Yeah, as the consultant demonstrated here, you already know the facilities. FIFA standard pitch is going to be put here. Understand? We are going to have multi-purpose sports facilities, taking care of about 16 sporting disciplines, and the swimming pool and all those things will be provided. You saw the multi-purpose hall, and also the hostel. The hostel will also be given a facelift to ensure that we can also host our national teams here. So all these things are here for youth development. That is our focus. And youth and sports are bedfellows. So once you are developing sporting facilities, obviously those beneficiaries will be young people. So that is why, for me, we are going to name it Azuma Nelson Youth and Sports Center, because mainly young people will benefit from this infrastructure that we are providing. We are committing about 80 million Ghana cedis, that's about $4 million to this project.
That's it for the news here at GHOne Newsroom. My name is Sewa Mia. The news team will be back at 3:25 with more updates. Don't forget that our weekend news begins tomorrow, March 3rd, 2018. Have a good day.
Special reports go beyond barriers.
the government forces were firing from that torched building, and then the rebels were also returning fire from this place.
The frustration that shows on the faces of many commuters is an indication of their anticipation.
Introducing our weekend edition of the news. If you could not catch us in the course of the week, catch us on the weekend. It's crisp, authoritative, and original. No. Trust our reporters to bring you up-to-the-minute information, whether it's breaking